different color on them toes. I bet we jump back over to the hotel. We can leave at noon.
Got it all, cause your body is fine and you're blowing my mind. Got it all, shorty tryna make you mine. Got it all, from the waist side. Know you're riding well, the OT and stateside. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you're looking good. Know you're rolling well, the front to a bad wood. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, roll with me. Know you tipsy over 2 cups of Hennessy. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, I'm getting right with you. Come and spend the night with you. Oh, girl, got it all. Cause your body is fine and you're blowing my mind. Got it all. Shorty tryna make you mine. Got it all, from the waist side. Know you're riding well, the OT and stateside. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all.
Yeah, girl, you smell good. Yeah, girl, you look fine. Yeah, you a little freak, even when you on FaceTime. Yeah, girl, you got it all. Yeah, girl, you got it all. Yeah, she from Brentwood, whipping on wood grain. Got a Mercedes 82, whipping in out of lanes. Baby girl, you scheming. Got a nigga fiending. To the left, to the left. Go ahead and be little Beyonce off to yourself. Going to the left, going to the left, going to the left, going to the left, yeah.
Got it all, cause your body is fine and you're blowing my mind. Got it all, shorty tryna make you mine. Got it all, from the waist side. Know you're riding well, the OT and stateside. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all. These studies acknowledge me, honestly, put the seat back in the other seat, riders, your little mama wanna suck in the swallow me, watch time. Welcome to the Check-In Report. I am your humble yet gracious host, trueandlivin. I'm not your homie, I'm the one and only macaroni. I'm in the building, y'all. I'm in the building. I am here. On a early evening edition of the Check-In Report, and we have some things to discuss. Beyonce, there is controversy, and we have to talk about it. And it's a really deep-rooted issue, and it doesn't just pertain to Beyonce. It pertains to a lot of black women, that are wearing blonde weaves, blonde wigs. Silky hair that is blonde. Are they culturally appropriating white women? We're gonna have to get into that. So that's gonna be the first topic. We're gonna discuss that first, and we also have to talk about Fat Joe. Did Fat Joe kill the Hip Hop Awards? We're gonna get to that fat a beanbag known as Fat Joe. Did he ruin the Hip Hop Award? Did he ruin the festivity and the celebration of hip hop? We're gonna get into that. But the first topic of today is Beyonce. If you don't know Beyonce, she did a Levi ad
And the Levi ad was almost like a rebuttal to the Sydney. I think her name is Sydney Sweetney, I believe. The ad is causing a lot of rumblings. It's where they're talking in the ad. It's Sydney Sweetney. She's they're talking about good genes, and a lot of people are offended by the ad and what they're insinuating, and just a lot of things that are and I believe the ad was an American Eagle ad. So this Levi ad was almost in a rebuttal to the Sydney Sweeney ad that was that went viral and that a lot of people were talking about. And when this ad came about of Beyonce, and she looks absolutely lovely in this ad. I've seen some of the other pictures in this ad. She looks absolutely lovely. She looks great even for her age. And remember, Beyonce, she's got to be in her late 40s at this point in time. She looks absolutely amazing. But a discussion was started on Beyonce. Is Beyonce culturally appropriating whiteness? Now, I've been thinking this and saying this for a long time. This is not something new. This is not a new concept. People have been talking about Beyonce, especially when she had the Lemonade and the Formation. It was all of this blackness and black power and proud to be black, but you were sashaying around on stage and on those concerts and on the Super Bowl in a blonde weave. Beyonce, we know that's not your real, authentic, natural hair. Respectfully. I'm not trying to disrespect Beyonce in any way or form or any way. But, Beyonce is a representation of black women. She represents the talent of black women. She represents the consciousness of black women. She represents, a lot of them look at her, they look at Beyonce as a beacon of hope. They look at Beyonce as the end all be all. They look at her as an idol. They look up to this woman, absolutely. And she's a representation of blackness. She's a powerful representation of blackness. So, as a powerful representation of blackness, for the greater half of her career, she has been sashaying around in a blonde wig or weave. Excuse me. Let me say weave. I don't even want to say, because I'm not trying to disrespect Beyonce. Let's just say she has been running around with synthetic blonde hair that is not hers, respectfully. And we have to ask the question, has Beyonce been culturally appropriating whiteness? Now, another thing is, there's been discussion online before. Can white women wear weave? Excuse me, not weave. Can white women wear braids in their hair? I've seen this discussion 100 times online. Where black women have told, white women, some black women really just don't care. And I want to say salute to those black women, because it really doesn't matter what people put in their hair. If a white woman wants to go out there and get Ellen Iverson braids, that's her prerogative. That's what she likes. That's what she wants to do. That's what she feels in her spirit that she is inclined to do. That's her prerogative. I don't really have an issue with that. Salute to FBA. He says, I thought Beyonce was a Caucasoid. He thought Beyonce was a Caucasian. Salute to her. He thought Beyonce, the hope, the black American hope for black women, was a Caucasus Mountain dweller. Yeah, and listen, she looks absolutely in the ad. She looks amazing for her age. But we have to really get down to the meat and potatoes. Black women, when you wear the blonde weaves, when you wear the blonde wigs, when you wear the synthetic blonde hair, you can make a case that you are culturally appropriating whiteness. You can also, because I've seen black women create the narrative of you can't culturally appropriate a hair color. You can't culturally appropriate having blonde hair. You absolutely can. The natural hair, the natural 4C hair of majority black women is black, and the texture, like I said, is 4C. What is wrong with your natural black 4C hair? What is wrong with your natural black beautiful hair? I, for one, think that black women that wear natural hair is absolutely beautiful. I think it's lovely. I love to see black women embrace their black hair, embrace their 4C hair, embrace those afros, embrace those curls, embrace that natural 4C hair. But a lot of you black women, respectfully, you have rejected that notion. Fire! 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 Salute to Sinclair. I see Sinclair's in the building. Salute to Sinclair. She says, hey FBA, hey, chat. What's good? Yeah, but yeah, a lot of black women have rejected, repudiated, black hair. And let me just pull up, a couple of black, because I don't want to make this just about Beyonce, because it's really a greater issue. Black women, blonde hair. Hold on, black women, blonde hair. Yeah, listen, and I'm not talking about black women that dye their 4C hair blonde. I don't have an issue with that. If you want to, you're going through a little phase and you want to dye your 4C hair blonde, I don't have an issue with that. This is particularly about the black women that put the silky blonde weaves in your hair. When you put the silky a wig on your head, but you're looking down on that white woman that puts French braids in her hair. You're looking down on that white woman that put cornrows in her hair. You're looking down on that white man that wants to wear dreads. And you're saying you're culturally appropriating black culture. You're culturally appropriating my culture. Braids do not belong to you. Dreads do not belong to you. What are you doing wearing my culture in your hair? Because a lot of black women feel like that, and I'm not saying all. I don't want to generalize all black women. All black women don't have this this type of construct or this type of ideal. A lot of black women just don't care. They don't care what people put in their hair, right? But there is a sector of black women that have these ideas, and they have these concepts, and they have these beliefs. But I want black women to realize, when you put this blonde synthetic wig or weave in your head, you are culturally appropriating a white woman. You can't get away from that. This is not your natural 4C hair. This is not your natural look. This is not what black women look like. This is not what black women. What's wrong with a natural? Let's pull up those black women from the 60s. Those Black Panther women. Hold on, Black Panther women. From the 60s. Black Panther Party. Hold on, Black Panther Party women. Those beautiful women from the 1960s. Look at what's wrong with black women wearing their natural hair? Embracing that afro, embracing those curls, embracing that. You got black women still putting the cookie cream, the relaxer in their hair, burning down their scalp, all in the name of whiteness, all in the name of looking like a white woman, all in the name of beauty. What's wrong with embracing that 4C hair, embracing that black beautiful hair, combing out that afro, pressing up that afro, popping it up high, confident, proud in your blackness? What's wrong with that? Because a lot of, I'm just saying, because there is a sector of black women that reject and repudiate that black hair. And I'm making this an overall issue. Excuse me, I'm doing a lot of stuttering. I'm making this an overall issue because, Beyonce represents that. She represents that. And I'm not saying Beyonce never had an afro. I'm sure she had an afro before. I think she had an afro in the Austin Powers movie, but it was blonde, but it was 4C though. But, Beyonce is a woman that a lot of black women look up to. They look up to Beyonce. They want to be like Beyonce. They respect her success story. They respect a lot about her. FBA says black men should start wearing Donald Trump wigs. That's a fact. Can you imagine if black men decided to do what black women are doing? Can you imagine if black men said, you know what? We're not going to wear waves. We're not going to wear dreads. We're not going to wear braids in our hair. We will reject and repudiate black hair. Because let's be honest, black women, not all of you. I don't want to generalize all black women, but there is a sector of black women that have rejected and repudiated the beauty of black 4C hair. And Beyonce is guilty of that. But imagine if black men decided to do that. If we threw the do-rags in the trash cans, we threw the afro picks in the trash cans, no more braiding of the hair, no more dreading of the hair, no more waves, no more none of that. None of that. Wicks, all of that. And we said, you know what? We're going to go out there and we're going to get blonde wigs. I want to look like Brad Pitt. I want to look like Ethan Hawke. I want to look like Keanu Reeves. I'm just saying, just think about that for a second. If black men decided to do that, if we rejected and we repudiated our hair, if we decided to go out there and get wigs and weaves that made it look like, Brad Pitt and Ethan Hawke, I mean, it would be absolutely sad, right? But when it comes to Beyonce, wearing it, because a couple of people brought it up. Megyn Kelly brought it up, Pierce Morgan, and I'm not saying like they're credible sources, but they did bring it up. Let's get to Megyn Kelly's comments. She had something to say about Beyonce. She had something to say about the ad. This is Beyonce, and she looks lovely. I think Beyonce looks lovely. Megyn Kelly, she says, this is the opposite of Sydney Sweeney ad. She says quite clearly, there is nothing natural about Beyonce. Everything from her image to her fame, to her success, to her look below, it is brought and paid for. Screams artificial, fake, enhanced, and trying too hard. Now, Megyn Kelly has a bone to pick with Beyonce. She has been criticizing her for years. Maybe we should pull some of her comments about Beyonce. She's very critical of Beyonce. She said things about Beyonce before that I thought were a little unfair. I thought that they were kind of really just personal. They're not really, they're more so personal attacks that she's had against Beyonce. She's not her first rodeo against Beyonce. Let me see if I can pull up some of the things she said. Hold on. Let me see. This is something she said about Beyonce a while ago. Let me see this playlist.
In the Kamala Harris campaign, she said it. In the speech, she said it.
Oh, so she was talking about Beyonce at the.
I had when I saw the Beyonce.
She was talking about Beyonce at the Kamala Harris rally, I believe.
Response. One word on Beyonce. Okay, so she's all about the women. In the Kamala Harris campaign, she said it. In the speech, she said it. And even Levi's, in their statement, which is completely anodyne about this ad, says it. They say, oh, we're marketing a final celebration of a partnership that has explored reinvention and reinterpretation at every turn. What? The campaign represents a new level and scale of collaboration that has put women at the center of the narrative and set in motion a new iconic chapter in Levi's history that continues to reaffirm the brand's place at the center of culture. My note reads, did Kamala Harris write this? It's so empty and rambling, but it's all about centering women. So Beyonce wants to center women. Where was she in the centering women when P. Diddy was on trial? Her good.
Oh, come on. I see that. See, that's not fair. I don't think she's being fair to Beyonce. Beyonce had nothing to do with Diddy's trial. Don't try to drag her in. Don't try to drag people in. That had nothing to do. I don't believe that Beyonce was ever at a P. Diddy freak off. I don't believe, because one would suggest that a lot of celebrities weren't in these freak offs, because if they were in these freak offs, why did none of these sex workers and any of these high profile girlfriends he was dating, why did none of them mention any celebrities that were around, that were participating in these acts? So I think it's very unfair for her to bring in Beyonce, but she has a bone to pick with Beyonce. And this has been going on for a long time. She's been critical of her. There was another video I seen of her criticizing Beyonce. I just want to show you this
album last night. Frank Sinatra got 11 Grammys. The Beatles won 7. Judy Garland, 2. Beyonce,
Judy Garland,
30.
She's hating on Beyonce having all the Grammys. Is my screen froze? Hold on, y'all.
3. Most overrated artist of all time.
The most overrated,
Folks are asking me, how do music award shows work? He writes, labels and publishers all have blocks of votes. They make deals with each other. You vote for mine, we'll vote for you.
She called Beyonce the most overrated artist of all time. That's a bit. Come on, that's a little bit overboard. There's a lot of artists that are that are overrated. I think that Beyonce is fairly rated. Sinclair says, aren't wigs for men called toupees? Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. But my comment on black men was more so on not necessarily wearing toupees, because you can get a 4C toupee. If a black man is losing his hair, let's say on the crown or whatever, if he were to get a toupee, more so he would get a 4C toupee. It was less about toupees and more so about black men rejecting their 4C hair, their 4C texture hair, and picking up, blonde, silky, Brad Pitt, Ethan Hawke, Fabio-esque type of hairstyles, and saying we're no longer going to wear the braids and the waves. We're going to wear this more whiteness. We're going to take this more whiteness approach of our hair. That's what I was more so saying. But yeah, toupees, men do wear toupees. There are men that wear a rug or a piece, so that does happen. But more so when men wear these things, they're more so to blend into their natural hair. So yeah, there are men that wear toupees, black men that wear toupees, that are wigs.
Yours type thing. It has zero to do with who made the best music, thus.
So I'm just showing you, she just has a history of hating on Beyonce. I think it's a little bit unfair. But I will give her a little bit of I gotta put a little bit of respect on her name too, and I gotta at least call it how it is. Megyn Kelly has a point here, because Beyonce, respectfully, this is not an authentic black look, and it has nothing to do with the healthiness of your body. Your body looks healthy, you look great. Has nothing to do with anything outside of your hair. This is not how natural black women look. Why is Beyonce, respectfully, I'm trying to be respectful here. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Mr. Carter, his wife, their beautiful family. But she is culturally appropriating whiteness. That is not a natural look for a black woman. That hair, that texture of hair is not a natural look. And I'm just being real. If this was a white woman doing this ad, and let's say she had an afro. Let's say a white woman did this ad with a 4C afro on her head, like one of these like one of these beautiful Black Panther women. Imagine a white woman with one of these, one of the afros that these beautiful Black Panther women were wearing, right? Imagine a white woman wearing that on an ad. That's essentially what this is. It's essentially what this is. It's essentially, oh man, Sinclair talking about I need the snacks and the beers. Hold on. Sinclair says, wear a blonde wig. Next chat with a couple beers and your snacks. Yeah, I don't got the snacks and the beers today. Yeah, I don't got the snacks and the beers today. Today I'm slacking with the snacks and the beers. But yeah, man. But I think that Megyn Kelly has a point that this is not a natural look. This is not natural. This is not. If you were going to be a representation of Black women, a representation of beautiful, proud, confident Black women, and take that on a Levi ad, I don't think that Beyonce did a good job with that. And Beyonce, she's in her 40s. Beyonce, are you still putting the relaxer in your hair? Are you still putting, the synthetic stuff in your hair? Are you still? I'm just asking the question, and I know Beyonce's a rich woman. She don't have to do none of that. But I feel like at this stage in her life, she should be embracing a more natural look to more represent those Black women. A lot of Black women look up to Beyonce. A lot of young Black women, a lot of young Black girls. Imagine if Beyonce were to say, you know what? I am no longer putting in the blonde wig. I am no longer putting in the blonde weave. I will be embracing my 4C hair. Imagine what that would do for little Black girls. Imagine what that would do for young Black women. Have them fully embrace their hair. Imagine if Beyonce came out and was an activist and said, you know what, we're going to do rallies. I'm going to do free concerts supporting Black women in their 4C hair. We will be embracing our beauty. We will be no longer going to these beauty salons, buying synthetic weaves and wigs and hairs. Beyonce could be, a Rosa Parks of embracing natural hair. She could be that beacon of hope. She could be that beacon of change. She could be the one to turn things around. She could change the perception of the standards of beauty in America for Black women. But she continues to put that blonde weave in her hair. She continues to put that silky mess on her head. And when a white woman like Megyn Kelly respectfully points it out, people have a problem with it. I hate to be on Megyn Kelly's side. I'm no fan of Megyn Kelly. I'm more of a Beyonce fan, but Megyn Kelly told the truth. This ad is inauthentic. I think that Beyonce at this point in time in her life, she should be embracing a more natural look. And it wasn't just Megyn Kelly. I put it on the screen. It was also Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, he also had something to say about Beyonce. He says, very disappointed to see Beyonce culturally appropriate Marilyn Monroe in her new Levi ad. So he's saying that Beyonce is culturally appropriating a white woman. Does he have a point? Does he have a point? Is Beyonce culturally appropriating white women culturally appropriating, Caucasian women. I just think that, at a certain point in time, I think Beyonce is just such a huge star. She could be doing more. She could be doing more. She could be doing more for black women. She could be doing more for the standards of beauty of black women. She could be doing more to make black women embrace themselves, embrace their beauty, embrace who they are. And I don't think that she's necessarily doing that. I think she's a little bit lax, chilling a little too much, But that's how I feel on that topic. Me personally, I do think that it's an issue. I just think that, a lot of black women need to embrace their hair, embrace your natural hair, embrace who you are. Your natural hair is not this texture. Your natural hair is not blonde like this. But, I think it's a deep-rooted issue in terms of the standards of beauty. A lot of black women still have this perception of beauty being a more European aesthetic. When people think of the aesthetics of beauty in westernized culture, a lot of black women have been conditioned to believe that, silky hair, blonde, long, illustrious, silky hair is the standard of beauty. A lot of black women have been brainwashed. It's not their fault. It's been generations of conditioning. It's been generations of this thinking. It's been generations of this type of mentality. And, the women that are coming up, the young girls that are coming up, they've just been indoctrinated into this. And it's really a deep-rooted issue that I think that a Beyonce, someone of her significance, someone with her stature, someone with her power, someone with her influence, she could change the perception of that. She could change that. She could rectify these wrongs. And I don't think she's doing that. So when it gets called out, a lot of people got butthurt. A lot of people felt the way that they were calling out Beyonce. But I think Pierce Morgan and Megyn Kelly, as much as I hate to say, I think they have a point. That when black women do this, when they wear the blonde wigs, when they wear the silky blonde wigs, you are culturally appropriating whiteness. And hold on, let me see if y'all ever have y'all saw this video? It's like a white girl that goes around. Hold on, can white girls wear braids? Let me see. I think this is her. Yeah.
I was trying to take the beads out and my hair started shedding everywhere. Why did nobody warn me that getting braids was gonna make my hair fall out?
Influencer Natalie Reynolds is going viral.
Well, that is one thing that they don't tell white women when you want to wear braids, that they can fall out because your texture of hair is different from black women. You have a different texture of hair. So it does leave your hair at risk. Black women have 4C hair. So it's a different texture of hair. White women, their hair is of a different texture. So your hair may fall out, getting these braids. Give me 1 second, though.
What was it DJ Khaled said? And another one? Before you come for me trying to be petty, talking about some box braids, get your hairstyle right, boo. Because these are definitely knotless braids. But for two. So y'all keep using this mixed kid. So you mean to tell me, because I'm a different complexion, I can't wear these braids? I do hair, so clearly I'm allowed to put these beautiful braids in somebody else's hair, but I can't wear them because I'm a different complexion. So that means...
See, I think she's culturally appropriating. If you ask me, you're culturally appropriating blackness. You're culturally appropriating blackness. Now, it's fine. Let me just say this. I don't care what anyone does with their hair. I don't feel a way when I see a white woman wear braids. I don't feel a way when I see a white man wear dreads. I don't feel a way. Do what you want with your damn hair. It's your hair. Do what you want. Shave a penis on the side of your head. dye your hair the same color as a cock. Do what you want. Go put feathers and glitter and paint in your hair if you wish. If that's your prerogative, that's your prerogative, bro. I don't have an issue with that. But at the end of the way, FBA says, I think Little Kim started that. Little Kim, she was a pioneer. But remember, you had women, you know, in the 60s. You had women in the 80s and the 90s that were, you know, doing things like that to their hair and stuff like that. It's been going on forever. You know, Little Kim was just, you know, a pioneer of the 90s doing that. But yes, you know, I believe that this white woman is culturally appropriating black hair. I don't have an issue with it. I don't have a problem with it. But you know your hair is not that texture. You know that your hair is at risk of falling out, being put into that type of braid style. You know that's not natural to your culture. That's not natural to who you are, you know, aesthetically, and to your race. I think you are culturally appropriating. Give me 1 second. Oh, here we go.
Everyone's telling me I'm not allowed to have braids, so today we're gonna get the public's thoughts. Do you think I'm allowed to have braids? No.
Sure. See, there are black women out there, and there are black women as well, who don't feel no way about it, you know, and I'm one of those people as well. I don't really feel a way about a white woman having braids in hair, but there are women that feel like, no, you don't need to be wearing braids. This is our culture. This belongs to us.
Sure. You can wear your hair in the way you want to wear your hair.
Exactly. No?
Yeah.
Sure. Yes?
Yeah.
Do you think it's okay for me to wear braids?
I'm sorry?
Do you think it's okay for me to wear braids? Everyone's telling me.
Yeah, so listen, you know, I just think that personally, when black women wear the blonde wigs and the weaves and all of that stuff, you can get called out for cultural appropriating too. Because listen, I think that a black woman is in full right to say a white woman is culturally appropriating black culture if she's wearing braids. So I think it's almost the same thing. If you're a white woman and you're wearing these, if you're a black woman and you're wearing these things, you can get called out as well. So it's just something to think about in terms of that, because a lot of black women feel like it's just a hair color. But if you're wearing long, silky blonde wigs and weaves, you are culturally appropriating whiteness. It's just my opinion. Let me see if I can find, I know Dr. Umar, he talks about the hair. Dr. Umar Johnson, black women hair. I know he has some type of a stick. Here we go. Let's see what.
I beg Serena to take that blonde weave off.
That's enough. I forgot about Serena. Hold on. I forgot about Serena. I'm giving all this smoke to Beyonce. I forgot about Serena. Hold on. We're going to get back to this. Hold on. We're going to get back to that. Hold on. I forgot about Serena. Hold on. Serena. I forgot about Serena. She do be wearing those blonde wigs. Blonde hair. Here we go. Look at this. Come on. Serena. You know damn well that is not your natural hair color. At least when Beyonce does it, you know, Beyonce looks like she could be mixed. Beyonce looks like she has some type of whiteness in her family because she's a very light-skinned woman, right? And that's her natural, tone. You know, Serena is a dark-skinned woman. Even though she's wearing a lot of all of this foundation, this lighter makeup on her face, she is a dark-skinned woman. She's a dark-skinned woman. But this is what happens when European standards of beauty get put on black women. They feel that they have to put on the lighter makeup, the lighter foundation. They feel that they need to put a blonde weave in their hair. And here, think about it. Think about it. We are talking about two of the most influential black women of our generation. Beyonce and Serena Williams are two of the most influential black women of my lifetime. I can't think of two black women that are more influential. I can't think of two black women that have impacted culture more than these two. I can't think of two black women of my lifetime who are this iconic. And for the duration of their lives, they have been pushing an agenda of European standards of beauty. That's a fact. That's a fact. Imagine if Serena and Beyonce decided to embrace the 4C hair and embrace the black hair. And they taught a generation of black women to embrace their natural hair. But every time they see you out and about, you got this blonde weave in your hair. But let's get back to what Umar was talking. Let's see what he was talking about.
She wouldn't do it. I'll ask the Sha'Carri Richardson. I love you, sister. For black girls worldwide, will you get rid of the blonde wig? For black girls worldwide, will you get rid of the blonde wig? I'm talking to my beautiful sister, Sha'Carri Richardson. I asked Serena. Serena would not do it.
How do you think he reached out to Serena? He said he reached out to Serena. She would not do it.
Serena Williams would not get rid of that blonde wig. Sha'Carri Richardson, will you do it for the black girls worldwide? Beyonce, I love me some Beyonce. Beyonce knows, Queen B, will you please get rid of the blonde hair for black girls worldwide? I'm asking Beyonce and Sha'Carri Richardson. I'm asking Beyonce and Sha'Carri Richardson, take off.
And these are all points that I was echoing. These are all points that I was echoing. If all of these influential, it's almost the same thing. And I can say the same thing about black men. You know, I can say all of the influential black men of our culture. Imagine if Jay-Z, Beyonce, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, all of the influential Denzel Washington, Michael B. Jordan, LeBron James. Imagine if all of the influential, prominent black men that we look at as terms of celebrities, even though we shouldn't be looking at them on some type of pedestal. But imagine if they were to speak out against the issues of our community and maybe help and guide black men and young black boys to a better direction. And I just feel like, Umar has a point here. Imagine what the impactful change that we could do. But I do understand that it's a little bit unrealistic to look at these celebrities as people that can help or change the condition for black people.
Off the blonde wig, the blonde weave, and raise the self-esteem. I'm telling you, Beyonce and Sha'Carri Richardson could start a psychological resurrection of self-esteem for black girls. Understand, overstand, and understand me. Understand, overstand, and understand me. Understand, overstand, and understand me.
But that's about it. Well, let's get off of that topic. Beyonce, listen, like I said, I think that, it's really a deep-rooted issue when it comes to black women, their hair. It's really, like I said, it's generations of indoctrination of European standards of beauty, being taught that their hair and their standards of beauty were no good. It's really indoctrination, and that black women, they need to fall out of that, come out of that, embrace your natural beauty and your natural hair. And Beyonce, I'm sorry, she's rightfully deserving to be called out for it. She's just in a line of fire at this point. I mean, Megyn Kelly and Piers Morgan have a point. They have a point. But let's get off of that. the BET Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards have been canceled. They have been canceled, ladies and gentlemen. BET has indefinitely suspended both the Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards. The decision was announced by BET CEO Scott Mills. The network is reportedly re-imaging how these award shows will exist. Within the changing media landscape, the Hip Hop Awards, which launched in 2006, celebrated rap and hip hop culture, while Soul Train Awards, established in 1987. Now, listen, I remember. Forget about the Hip Hop Awards, right? The Hip Hop Awards is a new invention. It's only been around for 15, 16 years or whatever. It hasn't been around that long. The Soul Train Awards is an institution. I'm a little more disheartened about the Soul Train Awards being do away with, but we're going to talk about the Hip Hop Awards. Established in 1987, honored in achievements in soul, R&B, black music. Both shows have been significant platforms for black artists and music. They have been. The suspension of these award shows follows a period of uncertainty for BET, with reports of stale talks to sell the network from Paramount Global. The change also comes from a decline in viewership of the BET Awards, which BET notes was partially attributed to unusual date change. BET Scott Mills stated that the network is considering moving these shows to different platforms, including streaming services. Listen. Let's get to the BET Awards first, right? Now, if you don't know, I was on a tear clapping at Fat Joe, right? Fat Joe, BET Hip Hop Awards. He was the last host of the Hip Hop Awards, right? Let me see. And they do have a video of it. He has a video where he's saying it's gentrified now. He's blaming everyone but himself. So yeah, Fat Joe, he hosted the BET Hip Hop Awards, and he did an absolute terrible job. He did not present the culture. He did not represent the culture, the art form of hip hop to its highest level. He was a terrible host. He was a terrible presenter. And his name, and let's be honest when it comes to Fat Joe, his name has been tied to mediocrity. He did the BET Hip Hop Awards. He stunk up the joint. It was a terrible show. The viewerships went down to a record low. Even the parts of the show that people love to tune into. People love to tune in to the BET Hip Hop Awards freestyles, right? That was one of the one things that the BET Hip Hop Awards had going for itself. They would tune into the BET Hip Hop Awards. People would watch, people would get awards, but there would be these freestyles in the show where it would be rappers freestyling in the show and things of that nature, right? Fat Joe, he does a remodeling of this, because before it was people rapping in a cypher. Fat Joe says, no, we're gonna do away with this. We're gonna have them rap in a Honda Accord. Let me see if I can find one of those clips. Hold on. BET Hip Hop Awards freestyle. Wait, car freestyle. Let me get that. Car freestyle. Let me see if we can find one of them Johns. Let me see if we can find one of them joints. Cause he had niggas rapping in a Kia. I was like, we got these niggas rapping in Kias now. Hold on. Hip Hop Awards. BET Hip Hop Awards freestyle. I'm looking for the newer ones. What was that? 2024? That was 2023. He did do 2023. Yeah, but nonetheless, I remember seeing it. He had people rapping in Kias and all of this. It was real weird. But listen, man, when it comes to Fat Joe, let me get some of these things off the. Give me 1 second, y'all. We got a lot of tabs open right now. But when it comes to Fat Joe, listen, his name has been tied to mediocrity. He came out during the World Series, right? Came out during the World Series, did a terrible job. The Yankees lost. After he performed at Yankee Stadium, the Yankees lost. They lost the World Series because of Fat Joe. He done waddled his 400-pound ass onto Yankee Stadium stage. Hold on, Yankee Stadium. And did a terrible job. Let me see if I got that performance. Yeah, I think I got that joint. I got that. Let me put that up on let's put that up on the Summer Jam screen of Fat Joe performing. Because, in the World Series, and we're going to get back to the BET Hip Hop Awards, but, in the World Series, I'm just showing you that Fat Joe has always been tied to mediocrity. So when the BET decided to let him host the awards, they picked the wrong guy. They picked the wrong guy. Fat Joe, Yankee Stadium. Here you go. Absolutely horrific.
Jordan.
Give me 1 second. John Cena played Fat Joe at the Yankee Stadium. Now remember, Dodger Stadium, because that's who the Yankees went up against. They went up against the Dodgers. The Dodgers, they had Ice Cube, and who would be a better representative of LA than Ice Cube? The only person I could think of better than Ice Cube would have probably been Dre and Snoop. If Dre and Snoop came out, it would have been as equivalent to Ice Cube, right? But they had Ice Cube. They had a hip hop legend. Ice Cube, he went out there, he tore down the stage. People in LA were satisfied. They had this cornball, Fat Joe, out there at Yankee Stadium performing these trash songs, and the Yankees lost. They lost that night. They lost because of Fat Joe.
Before game 2, time now for a native New Yorker to get you ready for game 3.
Yo, New York! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Bronx Bomber himself, Fat Joe!
How many of y'all remember this?
Soto, I see you, Judge, I see you!
Nobody want to see this clown. Nobody want to see this idiot. Lean Back came out 38 years ago. He goes out and he performs this trash song, and the Yankees go on to lose the World Series. Do you know why the Yankees lost the World Series? Because Fat Joe is bad luck. Fat Joe is mediocrity. And when BET decided to have this clown be the spokesman of the BET Hip Hop Awards, they made a bad choice. They made an absolute bad choice. But let me hear what he had to say in terms of let me see what he had to say in terms of, because he's blaming it on gentrification. Let me hear what he had to say. Fat Joe Hip Hop Awards. Here we go. Let me see what he had to say.
Like the Ratchet Awards, and nobody was really going and this and that. Then, I guess with the passing of Don Cornelius, whoever was in charge of the Soul Train, I guess, I don't know, slipped. It didn't have the same fluidity as it had other years, prior to before he passed. So now they just canceling it. That's like a loss for the culture. What you say?
You want me to say? You just explain what do you want you to say?
I just gave
I
you
got
the
a different.
thing.
I got a different approach, man.
Okay.
My approach is factual. BET. This is a form of gentrification. What's going on right now? Right. So I don't know if y'all really want to ask me about this shit right here. Right. So BET.
Gentrification? Fat Joe, you're not even black. You're talking about gentrification for BET? Listen, Fat Joe, it was gentrification when they allowed you to even be a part of the show. The fact that they couldn't find somebody black for BET. Fat Joe, BET. Black entertainment television. Not Puerto Rico, not Boricua entertainment television. Boricua, Morena, Boricua, Morena. No, this was not Boricua entertainment television. You don't find that suspicious? The fact that they allowed you to be a part of the BET Hip Hop Awards, that was gentrification in itself. They could have went out and found somebody black that was prominent, that had a voice, a rapper, an actor, a comedian. They decided to give you the job because of gentrification. So don't sit up here on your high horse and say, oh, gentrification, that's why. The fact that they gave you the gig, the fact that they allowed you to be a part of the show, the fact that they allowed you to host, that was gentrification in itself. Them allowing you to be a part of the show was gentrification in itself, Fat Joe. That's a fact.
He came up as a community station for black people, right? The urban culture. And
so what, if that's the case, Fat Joe, what was you doing hosting the show? You said BET came up as a black thing, and you know it was a black foundation thing. Blah 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 blah. Did he actually say black? What did he actually say again? Let me hear that again. Hear that again.
For black people, we about this shit right here, right? So BET came up as a community station for black people.
A community station for black people. Fat Joe, so what are you doing a part of it? Why was you hosting? Why did you decide to say that hosting this show was good? Why? You're not black, right? You're not black. So why was you hosting? Because you're saying it was gentrification. So you being a part of it as a non-black man was gentrification.
Right? The urban culture. And our man, what is Bob Johnson, took the check. He sold it, first black billionaire, whatever the case may be. He sold it. He sold it to Viacom and Paramount, MTV and them, VH1 and them. Little by little over the years, quietly, they've been firing a lot of people behind the scenes in BET, and everybody who has something to say, they've been firing them and this.
That's true, Fat Joe. I think what you're saying, there's some truth in what you're saying. But you're not also talking about how you was the host of the show and you did a poor job. Don't blame the firing. Listen, there's people getting fired everywhere. There's massive layoffs happening all over. In big corporate companies. I work at my job. They let go of these 26 people. There's layoffs happening everywhere. Don't blame it on the layoffs. Blame it on you being a poor host. Blame it on you not having enough cultural currency to get people involved and get people watching. Blame it on you not being entertaining. But don't blame, BET in the firings. Everybody's getting laid off everywhere.
Listen, that. And I know because I've been working on the BET Hip Hop Awards for 3 years.
And you've been doing a terrible job at it. That's a fact. You've been working. I've been working on the awards. You mean you've been ruining the awards? You've been doing a terrible job on the awards. You ain't been working.
Shit was like the budget, not for me, but the budget
just kept getting
chopped and chopped and chopped. And last year, I debuted my single with Khaled in the VMAs, and Katy Perry's still flying through the air in the VMAs. They still blowing out of the cannons. They still flying in the air. They still got all the tricks. They still got the budgets. They got the shit, you know. And so I think in the entertainment world, I don't think I know this was like a form of gentrification. They kept underfunding them, and
well, I'm gonna give Fat Joe a little bit of bell here on this one, and this is what I will say. Hip hop has not been supporting the BET Hip Hop Awards. I will give that, because I'm gonna go a little bit further before Fat Joe became the host, because he only hosted for 3 years, right? You know, I don't feel that hip hop has ever really, you know, supported the awards. You know, you don't see big artists at these award shows. Like when I watch the Grammys, right? We're talking about the hip hop awards here, right? And now remember, we're far removed from the Source Awards. We're far removed from the XXL Awards, or, you know, any type of hip hop celebration being televised. We're far removed from that. And remember, the Grammys, a lot of times when the Grammys come by, they don't even televise the hip hop categories. They give the awards on the red carpet when a lot of the artists are coming. So, you know, there's really no platform for the excellency of hip hop, right? But when it comes to the BET Hip Hop Awards, there is no other platform out there. We only have the BET Hip Hop Awards. And in my opinion, hip hop has not supported the BET Hip Hop Awards. You don't see no major stars at these BET Hip Hop Awards. At the last show, answer me this, riddle me this. Were any of your top hip hop artists at this BET Hip Hop Awards? Did you see the likes of Travis Scott? Did you see the likes of Drake? Did you see the likes of Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, even like the hip hop pioneers, or not the pioneers, but like the hip hop icons, like a Jay-Z or a Snoop Dogg? Did any of them come and support this show? The reality of the situation, they have not been supporting it. You know, they haven't been supporting the show. They haven't been coming out and supporting the show. They haven't been coming out and performing. I can't remember the last time I seen Drake or Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole. Remember, these are the top 3 guys in the hip hop industry right now. These are the big 3. These are the guys who represent hip hop to its highest form. They're not popping up at the Hip Hop Award. Now remember, this is the only show that only focuses on the excellency of hip hop, and you don't have none of the top artists. They show up for the Grammys. They show up for the Billboard Awards. Even to spit in the face of BET, they show up for the MTV VMAs. But you don't show up for the BET Hip Hop Awards. That's why this show has failed, and that's why it hasn't been getting its proper due.
You ain't got no money to be creative. That's why you was watching the Ratchet Awards and all that. They ain't had no bread.
So, salute to E. Cole. He says, nah, you're saying some real stuff right there. Yeah, you know, I'm just keeping it real. The BET Hip Hop Awards has failed because they have aligned themselves with mediocrity, right? Like Fat Joe. Fat Joe is a mediocre hip hop artist. Let's just put it out. Let's be frank here. Fat Joe does not represent hip hop excellency. He doesn't have a classic album. He's he's not considered one of the best. You're not gonna say Fat Joe is one of the greatest rappers you've ever heard. BET has aligned themselves with mediocrity. They allowed this mediocre rapper, Fat Joe, to take the reins of a host, right? Now, when you're a host, you hold the cultural currency. Case in point. Now let's go back a little bit, right? When Kevin Hart, he hosted the BET Awards, right? Kevin Hart, BET Awards. And the BET Awards was a success. It was a success. You had Kendrick Lamar was there, Mariah Carey, you had like streamers like Kai Cenat there. You had an ensemble because Kevin Hart holds cultural currency. I'm sure that when Kevin Hart was announced as host, he made phone calls. I want this to be a success. My name is tied to this. My name is tied to this award show. I want this show to be a success. I want it to represent Black excellency. I want the streamers there, like Kai Cenat. I want the musical icons like Mariah Carey. I want the hip hop superstars like Kendrick Lamar. He called for all the bells and whistles because he held the cultural currency. He wanted this to be a success. He held the reins. Now, when you become a host, you hold the cultural currency. When they gave Fat Joe the ball, he has no cultural currency. Who can Fat Joe call? Who's he gonna call? What? Ja Rule? Remy Ma? The Terror Squad affiliates? Little Watanito from Soundview Projects? Trinity Ave? He has no cultural currency. He can't make a Playboy Cardi come to the hip hop awards. He can't call Travis Scott. Hey, Travis Scott, we need you to come. I'm doing the award show. I need you to support me, my brother. He can't call a Kendrick Lamar and say, hey, Kendrick Lamar, we're going to give you the award for this, that, and the third. I need your support, my brother. Fat Joe just showed up and took the check. He had no pull. He had no cultural currency. And that's why the BET Hip Hop Awards failed. He is partly to blame. He wants to blame gentrification. He wants to blame this, that, and the third. The network cutbacks. He even took a dig at BET, claiming, hey, listen, I don't know what it is, but, you know, they got money over there at MTV, but they ain't got no money over there at BET.
You don't find that suspicious?
What are you trying to say, Fat Joe? What are you trying to say? You trying to say they don't want to spend no money over there at BET? Let me know, man. Are you claiming that Viacom and Paramount is guilty of racism? Guilty of being racist towards Black American art form like hip hop? Let us know, Fat Joe. What are you trying to say? Maybe you got some inside information you want to tell us about. Right? Yeah, but you know, the BET Hip Hop Awards, it's failed because there's no prominent stars supporting it. You don't see Kendrick Lamar, you don't see Drake there. Think about it. Back in the day, right? Go back to the Source Awards. Let's go back to the Source Awards. Because, you know, these were the beacons and these were the platforms of back in the day. Source Award photos. Let's go back. Source Award photos. Let's go back. Look. You had Snoop Dogg. You had Tupac. You had Nas. You had all of these incredible artists. Now, remember, this was the representation of hip hop. This was what the Source Awards was. They got Biggie there. All of the hip hop stars, all of the who's who supported it. They came out and said, this is the representation of what hip hop is. We want to be there. This is the only place we can go kick our feet up and be celebrated. Today's hip hop artists are not celebrating, are not, going to these platforms. They said, no, I'm not going to do BET. I'm going to go sit down with Rolling Stone. No, I'm not going to do BET. I'm not going to do that little Negro show, BET Hip Hop Awards. I'm going to sit down with New York Times. Your favorite rapper is guilty of this. I don't care who it is, whether it's the Kendrick Lamars, whether it's the Drakes, whether it's the Playboy Cardis, whether it's the Travis Scotts. They are guilty of shunning the only award show that is supporting the art form. There's no more Source Awards. The Source Awards is no longer. There's no Double XL Awards. There's no more Justo Mixtape Awards. There's no more award shows like that is celebrating the excellency and the greatness of the hip-hop art form. This is the only place. And the hip-hop artists continue to besmirch it, to continue to look down upon it. And that is why it's no longer a success. So, people need to look at their favorite hip-hop artists. You need to be asking Kendrick Lamar, why is Kendrick Lamar? Kendrick Lamar was, I hate to kick in his back, but I have to. Let's put him on the screen. Let's put that brother on the Summer Jam screen. Kendrick Lamar. You beat Drake in the battle. Respectfully, you beat Drake in the battle. Right? You overcame. You won the battle. Unanimous victory. Unanimous. You talked about how you were going to watch the party die. People looked at you and said, you are hip-hop's last hope. Let's say that. You're hip-hop's last hope. You're getting us away from, as supposedly the commercialization of hip-hop and the Drake era. You are the savior. They looked at him like that, right? Hip-hop needs to be asking, why is hip-hop's biggest star not supporting the only award show? The only award show. Look at Kendrick Lamar. You show up for the Grammys. You got a fistful of Grammys. A handful of Grammys. You're holding them up. You show up for the Grammys. Mind you, an award show at one particular time would not even televise the rap category. Look into the history of the Grammys. There was a point where they would not even televise the hip-hop category. They said, no, we will not be televising Negroes that rap on a mic. They rejected and they repudiated that notion. We will not televise Negroes rapping on microphones. I reject and repudiate that. The Grammy said that. But Kendrick Lamar, you show up to get your awards. You got an arm full of Grammys on this arm, an arm full of Grammys on that arm. But you don't show up to the BET Hip Hop Awards? The only award show that is representing the excellency of hip hop, that is representing the greatness of hip hop, that is representing all that is well with hip hop. And let's be honest here. You know damn well they would have gave Kendrick Lamar every award on that show.
You don't find that suspicious?
They would have gave him they would have gave that nigga a Lifetime Achievement Award, best hip hop video, best male hip hop. They would have gave him best female hip hop if he showed up. But you Negroes, you show up for the BET Hip Hop Awards, you show up for the Grammys, but you don't show up for the BET Hip Hop Awards. You show up and get your white accommodation, you show up and get your white awards, you show up and get your white praise, you show up and get all of that, but you don't got time to get your BET Hip Hop Award. That's why nobody's watching. That's why nobody cares. That's why, because the prominent hip hop artists of today don't support the art form. They don't support the excellency of the art form. And BET has had to deal with it. Just keeping it real. So, blame Fat Joe for being a terrible host and not holding any cultural currency to turn that award show around. Blame your favorite hip hop artist, whether it be Kendrick, whether it be Drake, whether it be Travis Scott, whoever it may be. Blame them. They are the reason why BET Hip Hop Awards is dead, right? And when it comes to the Soul Train Awards, listen, it's sad to see the Soul Train Awards go away, because the Soul Train Award is really an institution. The Soul Train Awards. It's sad to see it go. Hopefully they can bring it back. I just feel like that audience is getting older. A lot of these kids, they don't even remember a Soul Train. I'm old enough to remember when Soul Train was on TV, and you had people like Shamar Moore every Saturday on Soul Train, Don Cornelius and the Soul Train Awards and all of that. That's no longer happening. These kids don't know nothing about Soul Train Awards. They don't know nothing about a Soul Train show. They don't know the historicity. They don't know the history of Soul Train Award. They don't know about all of the great artists that came on that platform and was able to go on that show, Soul Train, and become stars, and the new stars that were broken, whether it be the rappers, whether it be the singers, whether it be Jackson 5, Al Green, Curtis Mayfield, and then you go into the golden age of hip hop. You had Run DMC on there, you had Public Enemy on there, LL Cool J, and a list of iconic black artists. They've broken so many black artists, and it's really an institution in black American music. So it's sad to see it go. It's sad to see it go. And I attribute it more to, like I said, the audience getting older and not being familiarized with the institution of Soul Train. I really blame Paramount. I blame Paramount, Viacom, for not, getting the right people to come in there, turn that award show around. They're guilty of both. When you have white people, respectfully, because, BET and, Soul Train, they're no longer owned by black people. They're no longer owned by people who know the platform, who understand the culture of the platforms. They're being run by people who don't know what's going on. They don't know their lips from their booty holes. And it's sad to see a lot of these institutions go away with. But hopefully they could turn this thing around. And I would love to see Soul Train come back in some way, fashion, or form. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I had a couple more topics, but I had a couple more topics. Let me see. What else? Should I get into something else? Is there anything else I should get into today? Is there anything else? Let me see. Is there anything else that I need to get into? I did write down some things. Yeah, these were like the main topics. Yeah, there's really nothing else for me to get into. Let me just make sure before. Damn. They just released Tay K's release date. Let me put that on the screen. Salute to Tay K. They released his release date. Put that on the screen. Yeah, I just seen it. This is Tay K's release date. If you don't know who Tay K is, he's the rapper who made the song The Race, who's doing football numbers in jail. His predicted release date is 2099. $2,099. Can you imagine looking that up online and you're an inmate in a state jail and you're inquiring about your release date? You're inquiring when you're going home. You're going to touch your family, see your family, be with your loved ones and your family and your friends. And you look, and I'm not like, this is sad, but it's really sad what he did, the people he hurt. It's just a sad situation altogether. But to look this up online and see that your predicted release date is 2099. And how old is Tay K? How old is Tay K? I think Tay K is what, like 23, 24? He's a young man. Tay K's age. How old is he? He's 25 years old. 25 years old. And you're looking up your information online. When am I going home? And you see 2099, nigga. We are in 2025. Essentially knowing that you will be spending the rest of your life in jail. It's crazy. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, it's crazy, man. FBA says 2036. Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Cole says, bring back the Source Awards. Yeah, I would love for them to see that. I would love for them to bring that back. It won't happen because the Source is no longer an institution. It's no longer an institution. FBA says he's going to pass away, come back, and be in jail as a toddler. Damn, yeah, man. It's sad. It's messed up, man. It's messed up. But he just made some bad choices, some very bad choices, man. But listen, guys, that's all I have to say for tonight. I just want to come on here and do a stream. I wanted to do a longer stream, but there's not a lot of things, not a lot of topics for me to talk about. I didn't really see too much. I'm searching right now. There's not too much that for me to get into. If there was a lot of topics for me to get into, I did see that they did deny Diddy his release, but he's possibly getting out in October, so I don't think that's a story there. Excuse me. Yeah, it's not a lot going on today, so I just want to talk about these topics. But listen, guys, thank y'all for joining me. Salute to all my moderators, salute to everybody in the building, salute to E. Cole, salute to Sinclair, salute to FBA. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know what you guys think of this stream. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we are out. Toodles, y'all. You have a good night. Y'all have a good Friday.